Okay, so today we want to talk about. Actually, it's really about the article that I recently posted called "The Importance of Eating Fish," which, as
Yep,
I mentioned to you, had a lot of traction. We had a lot of views on that, so people are obviously
yep,
interested in the subject. Um, but I wanted to contextualize it a little bit more into localize because I understand that when I write it, I want to make sure it corresponds with sort of quality, credible information, and sometimes that's not Malaysian, you know.
yeah.
So I was actually referring to actually a really great article, but it came out of Japan because it's about um, the amount of fish that the Japanese eat, and it's more relevant to that. The truth is, like, they can probably construct that kind of information from Malaysia because we also used to eat a lot of fish. You know,
Yeah,
we're actually
yeah,
a fish eating region. We
yeah.
just no one's really maybe really looked into it or studied it or written about it.
I
Um,
mean, there are articles, but the articles sit with like WWF, and the text is
sure,
very
sure.
academic, and it's not
It is, and it's
socialized
not.
because
Yeah,
they're talking about dead zones in the ocean. They're talking about the
yeah,
coral triangle. So
yeah.
it's scientific. It's not consumable.
It's also
Yeah,
not local. It's not really somebody here looking at it. For example, like I think WWF actually has like a list of sustainable seafood, but it
yeah,
doesn't have any of the sort of local variety that you and I might know. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's very
yeah.
hard to really grasp like what is the solution for this.
You know
So
who are my fish testers right now?
who? Huh? Who?
My three cats are my fish testers right
Ah,
now.
yeah,
So when I go to the supermarket, sometimes you get like ikan tamban, which is about this big, and then when
yeah,
I cut it open to clean it, I realize that even at this size, there is already eggs. So I know that this is a mature ikan tamban. And then I buy a different
yeah,
kind of fish, and then I cook it, and I see how fast and how much they eat. Then I know, oh,
yeah,
this fish is nice. Then I go buy the same fish for myself,
yeah.
and then I try it out, as a curry or something. Yeah,
I actually so I buy from the wet market. I never buy from the
mm.
supermarket. I don't think it's that fresh.
Yeah,
I go to the wet market and actually I ask very basic questions. I said, where does it come from? If it's
yeah,
coming from the East Coast, I know it's better than the West Coast
yeah.
because the West Coast is more contaminated. It's the straits.
Yeah,
There's there is urbanization affecting that. There's
yeah.
also some issue with some shady stuff is going on with Indonesian fishermen
It's also
offloading.
a lot of it's also a lot of because it's a trading route. All the ships go by
Yeah,
that way, so the
yes,
ships tend to quench all their
yeah,
black water into the
yeah,
straits,
yeah.
and that kind of kills a lot of the oxygen capacity within that area.
Sure. And
Yeah,
then, so the first sort of step is right. So if it's coming on the East Coast, it's coming from open ocean, and
yeah,
then usually I ask if it's coming from Sedili. That's sort
you're
of
right.
kind of like the where it comes in, and then it starts to get into like which one because some of- because actually I have to establish whether it's actually wild caught because
Yeah,
we
or
can still
farm.
get wild caught quite easily. But you don't know until you ask because some of these they look kind of similar,
Yeah,
and there's a lot of farm fish. Like siakap is mainly farm, so I
mm.
tend to avoid, which is a kind of a is it like a sea bass siakap? It's a
Yeah,
kind of sea bass, right? Um, but then once you start getting to local varieties, it can get a bit tricky because some of them are kind of funky tasting. They're a bit muddy tasting. I
that's
don't love
freshwater
it.
fish. Yeah,
Huh?
the
So I
freshwater fish tend to have muddy, like
so
tones.
I actually have to start asking. So you got to know enough bahasa to be able to have a conversation with these guys. First
Yeah,
of all, you got to know whether they caught it. If you're
yeah.
asking them, and it's been really, really stormy here. So if they don't seem to know where it's come from, I already know it's not. You know, they bought it from a middleman, and we don't know
Yeah.
where it came from. So, but if they are involved in the catching, they're actually quite proud to say, "Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
blah blah blah." So you get quite a good sense of like what it is, and then I have to figure out what kind of fish is. So I have to ask them, is this good for making a curry or steaming, fry, that. Get
Is
a
the
sense
fish
of very good.
is the texture of the meat and the thickness of the meat when you're cooking it?
Actually, it's not that. It's actually the flavor. There's definitely a muddier kind of flavor than a sweeter kind of a flavor. You know what I
Ah,
mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like bawal is a bit more sweet. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
I do have to be careful. I mean, basically any flavor is fine if you're currying it. So I'm not
Yeah.
worried about that. But I do
Yeah,
like
but when you're
grilling it
frying it,
sometimes.
oh yeah.
I do like grilling it sometimes, so that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Something that the article, which was actually quite interesting to read, which I got from the Japanese article, was that how you cook the fish really matters. Frying really destroys a lot of the omega-3.
Yeah.
Steaming and lightly poaching is much better. And actually, a lot of our culinary heritage, there's a lot of steaming and poaching and lightly cooking in a gulai or a curry or
Yep.
a masak kicap.
Soup. Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of that. And then you don't destroy a lot of omega-3, and whatever gets leaches into the liquid, you're eating the liquid. You know,
Yeah. 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 You're drinking the soup. Yeah.
it's in your gravy. So there's not a lot of actual content about stuff like that.
Yep.
So
Yep.
this is really part of that's why I kind of want to have a conversation about it. Do you cook much fish, or do you mainly eat out?
I mean, I do eat more fish now than I ever have had before.
Because there's a lot of it where you are.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of it where I am. I'm also cooking more for my cats. So if I buy, it's all human grade. So I buy fish. I buy the already in the plate, because here fish is so pristine that even if they caught it with like the mouth is a bit like out of place, it goes into the plate. But everything else is great. The eyes are clear, the gills are red. Like my indicators are all good, and then like the mouth is a bit displaced. I'm like, okay, I'm not eating the mouth, so I just buy the fish. Or it's like there's some fish that local people don't eat, but I've bought before, and like ikan susu or something like that. And I've roasted it, and it was fine. It was nice. It's like a thick slab of fish fillet. Yeah, it's good. So
I use my air fryer if I want to grill it. Just like spray a little oil, cook it really quick.
right,
Or I just make a little. So I bought my jarred. Uh,
it's raining on your side. It's insanely hot here.
and all my dogs are all like,
Stressing out.
yes, I just cook up a little bit of the spice base with either coconut milk or something sour, and then it just poaches for a couple of minutes. And I know it's really great food. It's a great food.
Nice.
But I do like fried fish. I do like buying it. I do like the
Yeah.
fried tula or whatever. And
Yeah.
I would say that I think it's okay if you're eating a lot of it too. I mean, I think that's better than not eating it at all.
Yeah.
So maybe I like whenever I go to the wet market, I'll go up to the warung and I'll buy a couple of fried fish
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
so that I can have during the week. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's quite quite good.
Here they also have a lot of ikan bakar. So yeah, ikan bakar is very available here.
Yeah. Is it
Yeah.
cheaper? Is fish cheaper where you are? I
I
mean, like,
don't
how
think
does it
it's
compare
that
to
much
meat?
cheaper, but I think it's fresh. It's maybe fresher.
But how
Yeah.
does it compare to eating meat?
I feel like there is a lot of, so like when I was in KL at one point, it was we tried to buy beef and we got water buffalo. After buying them, we realize it's actually water buffalo. It's not beef. Here, beef is quite available, and it is not imported. It's local beef. There are like people with small like cow farms here and there, so it's very local to Terengganu and Kelantan.
Okay.
Yeah,
I find that fish is getting more expensive.
possibly.
It used to be much cheaper. I've seen it
I mean,
like
when
really,
petrol prices go up, fish will go
yeah,
up because it's boats going
yeah,
out. Yeah,
yeah. So I definitely, sometimes I'm surprised and it's like, whoa, 40 ringgit for a piece. But then actually, when you calculate it and you calculate the piece, it actually works out to be still quite a cost-effective way of eating. Um,
right,
and because of its availability, we are able to. I mean, I can eat fish twice a week easily, easily,
right.
and that's just like fresh fish. I also eat things like ikan bilis.
There are
You know,
many types of ikan bilis here.
yeah. So some days I can't be bothered to be messing around, and it's just I'll make up like almost like a nasi lemak kind of thing. I've got some sambal. I cook up an
Right.
egg. I grill up some ikan bilis with some peanuts, and it's quite a nice lunch. Yeah, so it's a I. But the thing is, in Malaysia, and this is something I talk about in the article, is Malaysia is actually walking away from our local fish. We eat too many fish products, fish fingers, fish cake, for example.
It is. I feel like it is a convenience kitchen
It's
driven thing.
convenient. There's something, and also it's all leaning into fried foods,
Yes.
which is why it's so popular as well.
Yeah.
So the actual nutritional content of it is nowhere as high as if we were to actually eat a piece of fresh fish
Yeah.
cooked in a gulai or
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
steamed or what have you.
I feel like a lot of some of the guests that come here when they talk about food, some of them are like, "Oh, I don't like gulai because if I eat with my hands, then it's like the smell or the color or whatever it is." I'm like, okay,
So with your hands, I
right?
feel the
It's
whole
like
food, right?
the surprising thing is when we get Singaporeans, and they ask us for local recommendation, and we tell them like this place has about like 50 lao kind of a thing. They will all go. They will all come back, and they will absolutely enjoy it because when they travel, they want to immerse themselves in local and eating with their hands in a warung with like a lot of lao to them is like heaven because if they were to do it in Singapore, each scoop is like 10 sing or something like that, and it's like really quite expensive. Here your whole meal is included, so they really enjoy coming here and experiencing the, I wouldn't say discomfort, I would say unfamiliarity of eating with their hands. Yeah, but they enjoy it. Yeah.
I mean, I have to say I don't like eating with my hands, but you can just eat
Mm.
with a fork and spoon.
You can. Yeah.
It's a big deal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So the article tells you how much to eat, how often. So it's really like the kind of portions that we eat a couple of times a week is actually really good, especially if you're eating it steamed or with a ketchup or in a gulai or something like that.
Yeah.
It's a great meal, and really, it's much better than trying to uh, take supplements. A lot of times, in the West, you're encouraged to take omega-3 supplements, but actually, fish is very expensive. It's hard to eat fish, you
Right.
know, and they're usually white fishes with low omega-3, whereas a lot of the fish that we eat here are all
Yeah.
high omega-3. There's all this fatty fatty fishes, especially
Yeah.
the smaller ones. So things like ikan sela and ikan kuding, all the smaller ones, they're all much higher omega-3. You know, so
Right.
we should really, I think, really, our governance, I think our leadership should spend more time educating the masses about. the importance of leaning into our own food systems, and because we're surrounded by sea, it's we have sea on East Coast, West Coast, you know, and instead we're eating a lot of imported processed fish products. You know, people love fish and chips now, you know, and
I,
it
yeah, I,
and it's like tilapia, grown in a tank, you know.
you know the nasi kukus ayam penyet ikan penyet, they use a lot of tilapia. There's a place here, it's by the river that leads you to the sea,
Yeah,
and they typically do bawal goreng bawang. So they do this bawal goreng, which is about this big, the size of my face maybe, and then they fry fresh onions and they put it together, and it comes with a particular kind of sambal. Or they do sela kurisi, and two more types of fish. I can't remember what it is. And it's really nice. It's not overly fried. It's crispy because the oil is really hot. But once you break through the skin, it's really really nice, and yeah, it's just really well cooked, and it's cooked well,
actually,
and they
that's
serve that
another.
with sambal
Yeah,
and ulam, and that's all they do. It's like this really fresh fish with ulam and rice, and it's so good.
nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
actually, that's another thing that we also walking away from. We eat a lot of these fish products. It's stripped of the skin. It's
yeah,
just
this
the
one all
white
about
flesh.
skin.
So you're not
Yeah,
you're losing a lot of micronutrients as well, which the whole fish gives you more of. You know,
yeah.
so that's a thing. Um,
I feel like the other thing about like some fish, when you as you eat through the meat, it has like um ikan tongkol. It's got like a red, like the rest of the flesh is kind of fair. It's got like a darker
yeah, yeah.
and
Actually, tongkol is tuna. Tuna.
yeah. So
Yeah,
basically, these fish actually are fighting currents, big heavy currents, and so they have more muscle, and that kind of meat is also really important. And people understand that, and they just want like white fish, and to eat with your eyes, but it's a whole other thing to eat with your brain, like knowing what you're eating. And I think, like you said, like there's not enough information about these things out there. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Actually, there really isn't. So I mean, it's hard to look for a guideline for what fish to buy. There isn't. Actually, we have one. We have like a list of 10 fish, local fish. And I compiled that because I knew someone whose dad was actually used to sell fish here. I said, just give me the 10 most common ones so that you know what it looks like, or you can actually ask for it in the market. Uh, I mean, another problem that we have here is, language, The Chinese call it one thing, the Malays call it another thing, there's an English name.
Same thing.
It can get really confusing as well.
Yeah.
So this kind of information should be more. I think it should be taught in school. Really.
Yes, but it is not. The
Yeah.
expectation is we learn it at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I have. I mean, like, do you know your fish? Can you identify
If
five
I'm
or
at the
six?
shop, yeah, I can. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, after looking at this list, I think I'm definitely better. You know,
Mm.
but I did need a little help. Because a lot of the times also there's a lot of other fish when you go there. When you go to the
Yeah.
market, ikan chi, it's like all these names I've never heard of.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So they're not that easy to
Okay,
recognize.
so maybe for me it's a bit different because my brothers had like a fish business
Oh, that's
thing
right. Yeah, yeah,
pre-COVID. Yeah, so we knew a lot of the local name and the English names,
yeah,
and we knew the prices, and we knew where we would source the fishes and stuff. Yeah,
yeah.
so that was quite a big learning curve for us. Yeah.
One other problem is actually I love small fish, but it's when you buy it at the market, they won't clean it for you.
Yeah.
They will clean a big fish and cut it into
Yeah.
big slices, but they won't clean a
Yep.
small fish for you. And like, I don't really want to be doing that.
Mm.
I don't want to be like pulling out its guts. I don't like
I
dealing with
always
all
buy
of it.
cuts.
Huh?
So I typically buy tail cuts. Um, yeah.
Yeah.
So then I either I grill it or I buy a middle
Yeah.
cut, and I just grill it or something. Yeah.
So in a way, that's why I buy smaller fried fish. So the fried part is a negative, but the
Yep.
small it's always a smaller fish. So that's the
Yeah.
positive because actually they're just a little bit more nutritious because they tend to have more omega 3. Uh, they have more omega 3. Secondly, they also have less mercury contamination. It's actually
Right.
older fish that have more mercury,
And yeah,
because they
embody it a
live
lot more. Yeah.
longer all the time. Uh, and
Yeah.
that's what you actually come across in the West. The fishes are bigger and older, and you're eating great
Yeah.
big chunks of it. So you're actually consuming more mercury. Um, so yeah, so one guideline is actually aim to eat smaller fish. Try to actually um, go to the wet market, learn to have conversations with the market stallholders, and they are very helpful. They will try to help
Yeah.
you and try and develop some
I
kind.
mean, I think they're happy. They're happy when people want to learn about the fish as
They
well.
do. They are absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And then one side thing is I actually don't know about the. I have to look this up, but things like ikan bilis. The other thing is like salted fish, which I also like
Oh yeah.
to have as a flavoring. And in some ways, there is a fermentation aspect to it as well. It's also
Thing
easy to
about
get.
the salted fish. There are many types of salted fish, right? Then there's the salted fish, which is a whole fish, a small fish. Then they deep fry it, and it's really crispy. So I like that, and I like I think it's the tenggiri, salted tenggiri, the wedges,
Well,
right?
the
Fish.
tingiri or the curau. Those are the
Yeah,
two
the
bigger
curau.
ones.
Yeah, so those ones I really like, and I like the other
Yeah.
one, which is about this big. And then they salt the whole fish and they fry the whole fish, and then when you eat yeah, it's so good. Oh my god,
I
so
actually like
good. Different
the.
kind of salty.
I actually always buy the bigger one as well because it's actually like anchovy. When
Okay.
you cut the piece and fry it with some garlic, that's that's a pasta dish
Yeah.
ready to eat already.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and actually, an Italian friend was very surprised when he tried it. He said, "Oh, it's just like anchovy." So there's a lot of Italian style pastas that are basically garlic and anchovy.
Right. Right.
Sometimes tomato, sometimes uh, lemon zest, something like that, and lots of lemon. And it's a really, really. And then you can throw in, the West, you'd probably put in something like asparagus or maybe
Right.
flour or something like that. Yeah, you can use like pucho. That's also really nice. Pucho paku, the fern, the fiddleheads. So you're freezing a bit.
Yeah, I feel like in terms of the fish, like you're talking about fishball, fish cake, and when they make fish crackers, prawn crackers.
Yeah,
I feel like here there's so much surplus that
yeah,
they make it, and the fish ball and the fish cake is really nice. It's really like you
yeah,
can
yeah,
feel like there's more fish in the content instead of flour. So
yeah.
I would say that here, yeah, it's quite interesting to eat the fish
Actually,
ball that's locally made.
even things like keropok from the
Yeah,
East Coast is delicious, right? And it's
yeah,
actually so much better as a snack because it has protein,
yeah,
you know, and it tastes really good. It's not so processed. Much better than all the snacks you can buy at a 7-Eleven here, which is
yeah.
quite bad for you. I just wish there was a way of cooking it a bit. I've tried it like in the microwave. It doesn't really work. It doesn't really does
The
well.
fish. Oh, the kropo.
The keropok, yeah.
Mm,
It can, but it requires a little bit of jiggery
yeah.
pokery. Yeah. Okay, and then the sort of the last section is really the fact that unfortunately the sea has turned into a problem with microplastics, effluent, you know, toxic algae bloom. It's not a good place anymore. So to actually get your food from there is a little bit problematic, you know. Uh,
About how corals need to be shaded as they grow, even when they are up to 20 meters down, because the temperature is rising so much that they're bleaching. So yeah, no corals, no fish, because that's where the fish hang out. And
yeah,
I think it's a chain reaction of a lot of things,
yeah, yeah,
and it's really tough lah. It's really tough because you can't focus in one area. It's all connected, and everyone needs to
yeah.
have
No one's focused on it.
sustained effort.
This is not something that the food ministry is interested in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're always 10 years too late.
So you only hear about this through, for example, I know because I go to Malacca and I'm talking to Portuguese fishermen, Portuguese Eurasian fishermen, and now they cannot even get drago in Malacca anymore. They used to, where they live, they could just catch it on the beach. They can't do it
Right.
anymore, and that's a highly nutritious food. And that's the food that bigger fish eat. So that's
Hmm.
been lost as well. And no one's really on top of that. No one is really protecting them in the way that they're seeing it as a holistic protection scheme. They're
Yeah.
protecting their nutrition as a public policy because they're just in cahoots with billionaire property developers. You know,
Yeah.
so they will only do something if there is such a loud pushback, which occasionally happens, and then they'll start.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, they'll do a little clamping down or whatever.
No, and I feel like sometimes when there is a national policy on something, the locals cannot accept that. Hey, you know what? There's a bigger thought in this decision,
Yeah,
and they just fight it. And then sometimes there's a local push for certain things to be conserved, and then the federal is so ignorant to why it's important. And it's just, I think, in some way, the politics of people is just to argue and not to listen. It's like so difficult to get people to just listen to it first, and then we look
yeah.
at what's to us for the best choice.
But
And
there's also
people just,
this. It's also the issue of value. They think it's more valuable to be a developer and make billions of dollars
yeah,
and
yeah,
not look after the health of your population. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
Which
yeah.
actually costs money because if you're unhealthy and you cost the system more.
So there's this
Another
game, yeah,
just
that
to look just to look back on the food thing. We're seeing a lot of cheaper fish products. Like fish nuggets and fish fingers and all this kind of stuff. But we're also seeing sort of trends in fish eating that have nothing to do with local food. For example, there's a lot of sushi. There's a lot of sushi now. There's a lot of eating grilled salmon. All of that is not from here. It's all shipped in. It's refrigerated. It doesn't make sense.
it's
So
just
we are all we're
capitalism.
also we're also prone to this outside influence. We think that this is great. Oh,
Well,
grilled
because
salmon
capitalism is
with
pushing this
salad.
as like the thing to do and the cool
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. Another side thing is I think I will post it here. I was watching this Kara Fisher. She's a tech reporter, but she's actually reporting on health and stuff like that. And she visited this new company startup that's developing a fake salmon made from cloning cells.
So
And
it's a lab grown meat.
what?
lab
It's just
grown
like
meat.
salmon. I mean, in the video you can see her eating it. It looks just like salmon. She's eating it. She goes, "Wow, this is really good." She said, I tried the Impossible Burger and the Beyond Burger, and I was like, "Whoa, that doesn't taste like a burger." She said, "But this tastes just like fish." So technology might bring this in, might bring this kind of development in that could actually. I mean, it could replace. I mean, there's a humane thing. I mean, maybe we don't want to eat another animal. We something that's grown in a lab. And then B, it's also grown not in that toxic waste pool that our seas are becoming. You know, so it could be
Yeah.
actually solving a problem in a multitude of ways. So I'm all for it. But I
But
also know,
it comes to the question of uh, occupation, isn't it? Like, what do the farmers then do? What new occupation do they participate in? Because anything that is lab grown is not something that they can be a part of, unless
right.
they train. They go into the science stream and they work in a lab and da, da,
Well,
da,
but
da.
but we do that very well. We have a lot of food technologists and all these sort of lower scale sciencey type jobs could be doing that. But Singapore noticed that. Singapore was very early onto this alternative plant-based protein stuff because I think you can really see it has a great future in the tropics. We live in a part of the world that things are growing 365 times a year. It does, even though you need that kind of intelligence at top tier, you
Yep,
also need a lot of technological tech staff and
yep, yep,
supervisor and machine operation kind of
yep,
stuff, which we can supply very well here. So you
yep.
actually need a visionary leadership to see this happening. Um,
Yeah.
you know, I don't think we are. Um, and do you see a lot of farm fish where you are, or is it all
No,
freshwater? No, right?
mostly fresh. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, like the tilapias are farmed. I think the
Siakap is farmed,
curly is farmed. Yeah.
but
I think
I
the
I
freshwater
actually
fish
don't know
farming here
enough
is
about it.
available.
I know that the farm fish is actually some of it is sea farmed, which I
We
wonder
don't
if
have sea farms here
you
because
don't.
it's too volatile.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
monsoon season, everything breaks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I mean, I
so a
see
lot of
that
the sea fishing.
if
Yeah,
we can
farm
figure
fishing
out to
is
do that,
mostly on the west coast.
it's more humane, you know, because otherwise the fish are just living in their urine and circling in a tank.
Yeah,
Whereas a sea farm somehow seems a little bit more.
I mean they do freshwater farms in like Temenggor
Oh,
outside
okay.
Belum. It's a big lake. Yeah.
Okay. What about? Do you see a lot of things like what is what's the pink prawn thing? The fermented one. What's it called? I
Not
know it's not what I
kasam.
like it. I use it a lot.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I use
Chinchalo,
it. I use it in salads
chinchalo,
actually.
chinchalo.
Chinchalo, chinchalo. Yeah, because it's like a umami. It's protein. It's fermented.
Mm.
It just needs a bit of sharpening up with the vinegar or a lemon, and then you know
Small
salad.
prawn,
Huh?
small prawn.
Yeah. So okay, let me look at my thing again.
Yeah, I feel like if this were Japan, there would be a fish festival.
Sorry, what?
If we were in Japan, there would be a fish festival
Probably. Yeah,
where
there
they
probably is.
celebrate the fish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Just to wrap up on the contamination part.
Yeah.
it does say that, and it does link to a study that says, despite the problems, it's still better to eat fresh fish
Yeah.
than to not eat it. You know?
I can relate to that
Yeah,
because you
and
also don't know where contamination is happening, and if it's not discolored your fish, you wouldn't know.
yeah.
Like really, yeah.
So, do you buy your fish from the market, or do you actually buy from fishermen?
I buy it from the local supermarket, but they are getting
Oh,
fresh fish from the fishermen. Yeah,
okay.
it's not like a. It's not like when you go to Giant and Giant procures like a lot of
Yeah,
fish from a mass market.
yeah. I
These
don't like giant.
smaller supermarkets, yeah, don't do that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
mostly local.
When I was a kid, we had a maid who was dating a fisherman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and we would get the fish from him.
Access.
I can tell you, it tastes better. I can still
Yeah.
remember what that tastes like. You know, uh, yeah.
Nice.
She would go and meet him, and she'd come back with a big basket of fish.
So functional.
Yeah,
Nice. I
yeah. So
haven't
there's
seen
definitely that.
guests here grill fish themselves. I see when
Sorry,
they do
what?
barbecues, our guests, I don't see many of them grill fish. I see most of them do chicken or beef or lamb, but I've not seen people do fish. And then here, because you have Koboleko, some people make like that same leko like pati into satay ikan. So local people eat satay ikan. But I've not seen my guests do any of that. They'll buy sata once in a while, but I don't see them like barbecuing their own fish. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I think that's also like a modern thing. I mean, I'm guilty of that. Like, I think as you get more urbanized, you just don't want the smell of it or to deal with
But when it's fresh, there
the
isn't a smell.
yeah. No, but it's not even the smell. It's also just the dealing with the animal thing. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's a little bit. After living in the West for so long, you're so disconnected from the
Right.
actual cutting and all that stuff
I probably
that
do
when you
that like
actually,
twice or three times a week. Yeah.
so now when you're actually faced with it, it's
Yeah.
just a little bit,
Oh, but
it's
I can tell you, all the plants around my unit are thriving because I pour fish water on them and I put fish guts. So they're all
yeah.
thriving, even in this heat, this insane heat. Yeah.
Hey,
So you
so
look at around my house, I got like fresh plants.
so let's digress a little bit because you just opened a cafe at your place, and it's
Yes,
vegan slash vegetarian, right?
correct.
It
B.
looks
It's called
it
B12
looks
Cafe.
great. It looks great.
Yeah.
Is it successful?
So far, so good. It's been, I think they opened on Sunday. It's only Thursday today. I think they've been full every day.
Really? That's great.
Yeah. But they've also been calling all their friends and their friends' friends. And yeah,
Sure.
it's a network heavy crowd. And they had a couple of our guests which ate with them. Yeah. I even offered like, so typically when people come for like honeymoon or birthdays, they would ask me to prepare like, a birthday cake slice or something. So the first one we did 2 days ago, we kind of asked them like, so these are the options of cake that B12 has. What do you want? And then B12 went on to like write happy birthday on the plate. So they decked it out really nice. I don't have to do it, and I like it. So I just like, thank you. Here's the money. Let's just go deliver to the other side. So that's been
But the
good.
two, the two things I saw, first of all, the site is fantastic. I mean, you're
Yeah.
sitting in a room that's looking at the beach. It's
Yeah.
beautiful. And
Want to see the
then I
beach?
saw,
Ta-da!
yeah, and then the menu looks really good,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it's actually sometimes vegetarian food can be kind of dull or not
I think
so
they have
exciting.
found the sweet spot because
Yeah,
like
I think so.
I had like omurice with Japanese curry, and they have like slices of mushroom that has been seasoned and deep fried. It's really nice. It's really really nice. And they have a really nice salad that they make, which has like fruits and yeah, and nice salad leaves. So that's
Hey,
nice. And
this is a bit of
yeah,
a side thing, but do you eat any seaweed? Because we have a lot of
I
seaweed.
do.
We don't have a culture of eating it, you know.
I eat those pack seaweed things in the
Do you not eat
supermarket.
anything local? Because you can get it from where you are, you know.
I have never seen it being sold.
Really,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But I know in Sabah I used to eat a lot more
No, but
because
this is
Sabah.
okay. So this is another problem. We are just not evolved because there are seaweed varieties that are
For
available.
sure.
We
If you
just
have dugong, you have seaweed.
yeah,
If you have
we're just not tapping into it.
seahorse, you have seaweed because
Yeah,
they live in
yeah,
the
yeah,
seagrass and seaweed. Yeah,
yeah,
beds.
yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah, we should
and
really be.
definitely, what's this? All the turtles eat seaweed as well as part of their diet. Yeah.
Um, what else is there? So you say you eat tamban, and tamban is. I thought it was actually like it needed quite still waters. That's why we have a lot
Is
in our
it?
sites.
Don't know.
You get
Yeah,
tamban
we
in
get
Johor.
some onion. Yeah,
I
I
mean
mean,
that's a real old school fish. It's really hard to get in Johor now. You know.
got lah, got, and it's really pretty. Yeah, it's got like red sides.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, especially like even if you buy like the Indian mackerel, the smaller ones. Oh my god, they're so pretty when they're fresh, right? Their skin is so pretty. Yeah, it's really nice to buy fish here.
I actually did a little research about how to buy fish and things like the India mackerel.
Mm.
I actually learned that when they are caught, they go into rigor mortis,
Oh,
and then they slowly ease out of it.
okay.
So one way to select it is if it's still in rigor mortis, that means it's very fresh. You know,
Ah,
it's actually better. However, when I was living in the States, uh, what's that? There's what's that chain called that does really good food? But they do something that I don't see so much here is the boats. You know, they catch the fish, and on the boats they actually have flash freezers.
yes.
So they flash freeze the fish right away. I mean, you know, you think you should always eat fresh fish, but actually to flash frozen fish, frozen right when it's caught on the boat, is actually really quite good, you know.
Mm,
And Trader Joe's, the company is called Trader Joe's, and I used to
right.
buy that sometimes. And I wish I could see more of that in our local produce. You know, that would
It's just
solve the whole.
cost.
Huh?
Once it goes into cold chain, it needs to stay in cold chain.
No, it needs machinery. It needs refrigeration. You know,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
needs. You know, you need the flash freezers.
yeah.
So what happens
Yep,
is a lot of the cases where we live in a sort of just advancing out of third world, nobody can afford these things.
yeah.
You know, you actually need a little bit of prosperity to have
Capital, capital, capital.
it's to have those kind of conveniences. And so you tend to see this with bigger companies, you know.
Yeah.
So we do see, although that business doesn't seem to have done well. A few years ago, there was a lot of those kind of businesses in Johor Bahru. They were opening these
Oh,
really flashy sort of shops selling, from loud to bag or something. You know, they had funky names like that, and they actually
wow.
would be these quite well capitalized companies with all this kind of infrastructure for freezing the fish, bringing them in, and but somehow it doesn't seem to have a lot of them closed down. I don't really see that as a very buoyant market here. But you know, sometimes these things do that. They come in too early, they die out, and then the better ones stay. I don't know. You know, it's just it's one of those things. For example, I just yesterday somebody that I know in the coffee business for the longest time, I'm like, why aren't you buying local coffee? He's always buying Ethiopian coffee and Australian coffee. And then now I see him. He says, "Oh, I partnered with a Indonesian company. He's going to the
Mm.
farm." It only took 10 years, 10 years when I first talked to him about it. But he's very serious about coffee. But it took that long for that kind of information to really percolate here and for people
Mm.
to understand the whole idea of local and
Yeah.
you know that kind of thing. So I think that is just slow to take off, and this is where I would rather see more NGO action.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that we would actually behave better as consumers, because as consumers we hold a lot of power. You know, just through
Yeah.
our
Yeah.
demand. Just the way we shop. So. Uh, so I don't, I see something starting and then it doesn't really happen. For example,
Yeah.
another great one was this sort of they were doing this plant-based fish. They were doing no, not fish, like a plant-based chicken chop type thing. It was being
Yeah.
made from bamboo fiber and mushroom and so it was really good.
Oh.
And now they've
Okay.
closed it. The company's closed down, so you can't even buy it anymore. You know, so
Wow.
we kind of need market forces and help from the government and better understanding from the marketplace to actually have these
Yeah.
things grow. And I think that's something that that's certainly where we can we have a role to play, is actually distribute this
Yeah.
kind of information a bit more.
Yeah. I
um,
think like if people, like how we have consumer supported agriculture, and you have like organic food program,
yeah,
focus, and you have farmers market focus. I feel like the farmers market movement here doesn't exist.
yeah.
Yeah, not
Also,
enough people are involved in this.
we're raising a generation that's getting very distant from all of this as well. I mean, like
Yep.
your niece, is she eating
Yep.
local fish?
It depends if it's fried, yes. If
Okay,
it's
so she
curry,
will.
no.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of local urban kids and teenagers that won't. They don't like the
Yeah.
bone, they don't like the fish, they want it in the
Yeah. Yeah.
batter. You know,
Yeah.
so
I
yeah.
think she would eat certain kinds of laksa, not all. So yeah.
Okay. Okay, I think maybe we will wrap up a little teeny bit earlier today. Um,
Okay, sounds good.
what are you up to this week?
This week, I think we are preparing for the long holiday. The school holidays are coming up for Hari
Oh,
Raya Haji and the bunch.
okay.
So we are kind of just bracing ourselves in terms of just adapting to the cafe and their guests, and our bits setting up and my staff movement. We lost one guy this week. He moved on, so we need to replace him. So it's a bit of logistics. We finally applied for our permit, so that's been a pain. So just a little bit of logistics, a little bit of organization. I'm looking forward to a day off after like 2 weeks. I'm so tired. I want to do laundry. So yeah, think everyday things that just want to get it done.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm seeing a little bit of a changing of the guard here business wise. I'm seeing some companies falter, but a lot of new ones are coming up. So we have a few new clients. We have some older clients that are stopping their orders. So we have seeing everything's staying the same. It's all balancing out, but there's this sort of shift, which happens in business.
yeah,
What kind of happens? Even one of my better clients that was ordering a lot, the
yeah,
chef left, and I saw their orders starting to drop. The chef makes a difference. You know.
yes.
So guess what? They begged him to come back. So he's back. I got a message from him today. I'm back. So the orders are going to go back up again with them.
Okay, it sounds good.
Okay.
That's always nice. That they have the time to go out and then step back in again. Yeah, that's always good.
Yeah. All right.
Cool. So
Catch
I'll
up with
probably
you
be
again.
talking to you soon again, like on, yeah,
Yeah.
not on podcast, but yes, I look forward to that call.
Okay. All right.
Bye.
Take care.
You too.